Imagine being harassed, jailed, and poisoned into a coma by a murderous dictator. But loving your country so much, you return knowing it means certain imprisonment and probably death. Imagine what kind of titanium backbone and gnards of steel that would take. And that is Alexei Navalny. He is the Russian rabble-rouser who has been screaming into a very dangerous megaphone for years about the corruption and treachery in Putin's den. Navalny was jailed in 2014 for allegedly embezzling $500,000 in lumber from a state-run company. It's Russia, so maybe he did, maybe he didn't, who knows. But the European Court of Human Rights declared that trial a hoax, though Navalny was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Navalny has since started the Anti-Corruption Foundation, which you can imagine is hardly encouraged reading in Putin's book club. He's run for mayor of Moscow, but he was forced by FSB goons to vacate the city leading up to the race, and obviously state-run media wasn't going to make him candidate of the week. And eventually he was doused in dye and antiseptic and poisoned at least one other time before almost entering the big Siberian sleep last year when he was poisoned with deadly Soviet nerve agent Novichok that put the stubborn bear in a coma for 2 weeks and nearly killed him. And while he was sleeping, he didn't check in with his parole officer. And that's why, when he had girded his loins, returned to the motherland, and the kangaroo court sentenced him to 2.5 years behind bars. So what happened when he was taken into custody? Well, holy hell has broken loose in protests since Sunday all over the former Soviet Union. And heavy-handed cops have arrested almost 6,000 protesters and journalists. It's the exact outrage and outpouring Navalny was counting on. So how many people would kick the hive, then return to the hornet's nest in the name of freedom? Navalny has been brave and bold and calculating for years now, like the time in 2014 when he bought stocks in state-run Russian oil companies so as a shareholder he could pointedly question leadership. That's just slightly more sophisticated than storming the Capitol claiming you're the new speaker because you put your feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk. There has been outrage from the international community, and Navalny's Western champions have called for his immediate release, as well as the release of those detained in the skirmishes. The only thing that will amount to change is if dissatisfaction reaches critical mass and the borscht pot boils over from within. Even if Navalny has predictably disappeared, he is not going away, and his story and gnards are officially an impetus for something very dangerous and very necessary. Because screw Russia. And that's the memo.